Hello, welcome to week 2. I'm Amber, as you know, and this week we are going to be diving into feelings, feeling the feels, which for sensitive people can actually be one of the hardest things, and also one of the most valuable things. Because as we talked about some last week, feeling our feelings really, it clears massive amounts of space out in our physical bodies, in our emotional bodies, and that's the space that can welcome in the things that we actually want. So feelings, that's where we're going this week. And this was a hard one for me for many years. Like I did not know how to feel my feelings until I was probably in my mid 30s. Um, and when I started on the process of really learning how to clear and process and actually just feel my feelings as physical sensations, because that's all they are, my life really changed completely, like 100%. Learning how to feel feelings in this way, because of course we aren't taught. Feelings are actually one of the most natural things for us, but it's been really suppressed by our culture, just the way we've grown up, the way our parents grew up, the way their parents grew up. It's just been, our feelings have been tamped down and we've been taught not to trust them, not to trust ourselves, blah, blah, blah. Patriarchy. Uh, so, but actually, it is, feeling our feelings is one of the most natural things and one of the most useful things in our lives. So, that said, let's check in and see where we want to start. Okay, so let's take a few deep breaths with me. Feel yourself landing in your body. Know that it's safe to be here. It's safe to be on this planet in your body. It's safe to feel whatever you feel. Whether you feel sad or angry, upset, sensitive, what some might term overly emotional or too sensitive, it's all you. It's all just part of your experience here. And these feelings just want to be acknowledged, felt, heard, and then integrated back into your wholeness or completely released because they're no longer needed. So as you breathe deeply in whatever way feels good to you, imagine that grounding cord might look like a cord of light dropping from the base of your spine, your tailbone, down through the floor, down through the earth, all the way to the center of the earth. Feel it wrap around the center of the earth once, twice, 3 times, and feel yourself land here. You may call in your higher self and your guides, your angels, any help that resonates with you to be here with you, to help you. So now, as you breathe in, feel into whatever's happening for you right now, whatever emotions have been rolling through your world, however your body's feeling, whatever situations. Just breathe into them. Then on the exhale, release them all. Release them into the air, into the earth. You can drop anything that feels like it doesn't serve you down your grounding cord to be transformed by the earth. And just notice what your experience is today, what your emotional experience is, what your physical experience is, and what's ready to be seen now, what's ready to be released, what's ready to be acknowledged and folded back into your wholeness. take 3 more deep breaths. Breathing out any old emotions, any old thoughts, anything that doesn't serve you. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and we'll get started. As I mentioned in the intro video, having a glass of water as you're watching these videos is really helpful. In part because you might even want to have 2 glasses of water, because these sessions are really, really powerful energetically. A lot of energy is moving. And so drinking water as that's happening really helps your body process it and integrate what's happening. But also the water absorbs the healing and the energy and the good vibes, and however you'd like to term it, it absorbs it. And so if you drink the water that has been present with you in these sessions, afterwards it will help you integrate. So for this session, especially with the feelings work, having some water will be really beneficial. And pro tip, water, actually being hydrated, it helps move feelings through our body. It helps the emotions move through us, because often emotions will get stuck because we aren't fully present with them. We aren't allowing them. And I do just want to give everybody the comfort or reassurance that we have been really deeply trained how to not feel our emotions. So it can take some retraining. It can take some effort, or it doesn't have to take effort. It took me effort. It took me years of effort. And still, even like 2 days ago, I was having some feelings and I was just like, yeah, don't wanna, just not into it right now. So be really gentle with yourself during this process, because you are relearning how to be present with yourself, how to honor yourself, honor your feelings. And so anyway, water is really good to help with that, and I'm gonna have a little bit right now. Another thing I want to say about processing feelings, about feeling feelings, and we'll get deeper into what that looks like, is that from my experience personally, I'm a writer and I create things, and I've also had a lot of depression in my life. And so what I've noticed is that, now that I'm further down the road, this little feelings journey, I have started to notice that if I feel creatively blocked, if I feel like I can't write, if I feel like I can't get out of bed, or I don't want to do my dishes, or, anything, any of those sort of tells, that shows me that there's a feeling that I've either been suppressing or not acknowledging, or just need to spend some time with. So whenever I kind of crack open, and that's how I think about it. Like if I get really angry and just need to like scream in my car when I'm on the freeway, or beat a pillow, or I get so sad that I just start sobbing like a heartbroken 3-year-old, sometimes even on the floor, it can feel really melodramatic sometimes. But for me personally, that kind of cracking open, and it doesn't always need to be that dramatic. Sometimes I just need to be like, okay, check in. What do I need to feel right now? What wants to be felt? What wants to be heard? What wants to be seen? And as I do that and just let that happen, the inspiration comes back. I feel like I can write again. I'm like, oh, I will do those dishes. That would be a good, adult thing for me to do. Or, what, I can get out of bed and maybe change my sheets today. Even make the bed, which it's not made right now, but that's all right. It's early in the morning on Saturday because I'm trying to avoid the eternal construction noise in my neighborhood. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there as something to keep in mind. If you're feeling creatively stuck, or you're feeling, like you can't get can't get things done, or just want to hibernate with Netflix. And I do fully believe in the Netflix hibernation. This is not a knock on Netflix at all, but if you feel like you've passed the point where you're just enjoying yourself and you know that you're doing it because you don't want to do anything else, that's when it's a good time to just check in and see, like, okay, what needs to be felt right now? So let's talk about that. So feelings are literally like, they're feelings. Like, I'm poking myself because, like, I can feel that. Like, that is a physical sensation in my body, and that's all feelings are. We have learned, especially, for sensitive, very intelligent humans, as you all are, we've learned to attach story to our feelings, to make our feelings mean something. It's our brain attempting to help us, but it's helping us, the way, a 2-year-old tries to help you bake a cake. It's really sweet, but now there's flour everywhere, and it's going to take twice as long to clean up, and they've cut themselves on something because they found a knife, that sort of thing. So what a really good way to, to begin playing with your feelings is to just remind yourself it's just a physical sensation. I don't need to go into a story about this. I don't need to let my brain jump into, like, okay, well, I'm angry because this person did that thing, and I really deserve to be angry because they did it, but maybe I shouldn't be angry because maybe it's actually my fault. And then that's how we get sidetracked from actually feeling the feeling and going into, like, all of the judgment, all the reasons why this person is wrong, why you are wrong, why everything is terrible, and what can we even do? How can we fix this? When really all you need to do is just be like, okay, disconnect from the story. And a way to do that is just take a few deep breaths. Or one of the things I like to do is imagine all of my thoughts caught in glass, and then I just tap them and the glass shatters and falls into the earth, where it can be transformed, because the earth is very good at that. And then, so once or just remind yourself, like, okay, this story doesn't serve me. I don't need to go here right now. Instead, I'm just going to focus on how that anger feels in my body. Because when you actually let the sensation of that feeling move through you physically, it can be gone in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe like a minute or two if it's a really powerful one. But actually letting yourself feel your feelings as physical sensations is very powerful. And it will, if you learn how to, kind of catch yourself and step out of the brain story anytime, you feel sad or hurt, or, and of course there are some times when going into reasons and processing in that way is helpful, and there's some discernment to be learned there. And we're all kind of still in the process of learning that discernment, but a good initial trick and kind of the baseline, like the number one tool for anything all the time is to return to your breath. It's like, okay, take a few deep breaths, like get some oxygen in there so your body can function, so your brain can function, so you can calm yourself down. The kind of first line of defense with feelings is to feel them physically. So say that, you are feeling sad. It can be really tempting to go into, okay, I'm sad because of this relationship, because this thing has happened, because this person has left, because I have left, because et cetera, et cetera. Instead, just like, okay, how does that sadness feel? Is it in my belly? Is it in my heart? Is it kind of vibrating in my space? What's happening here? And just feel it. And you might it might take a few times. Like you might be doing it right now. Fantastic. Congratulations. Beautiful work. Or it may take some practice. It may take, playing with it a few times. But that's one of the, if I could teach you anything about feelings, that would be it. So, that's a really, feelings are just physical sensations. And when we don't allow ourselves to feel the physical sensations, then it gets stored in our bodies. And that is where a lot of health issues can come from. That's where a lot of, our, the heaviness, the weight that we can feel will come from. Sometimes even like actual physical weight. I did energy work with a healer many years ago, and she said, "Oh, you're storing a lot of grief in your thighs." I'm like, okay, well, is that why they're so big? That's facetious, but it gets stored in our bodies. And so if you allow it to be felt, if you allow yourself the gift of feeling it, when it shows up, it won't get stored anymore. And eventually, everything that has been stored will rise up. And if you feel it, if you move through it, you can clear yourself out on a level that you've never experienced before, that most of us have never experienced before. And of course, working with healers and energy workers is really valuable. That can really help this kind of thing. But let's give you some more. Okay, where do we want to go next? And let's see if any guides want to come in to this one. Let me take a little bit more water. Okay, so where else should we go with the feelings? What else do these lovely people need to know today? I don't really create a lesson plan for these. I probably should at least have some ideas, but I like it to come through, kind of more purely and more channeled. Otherwise, I get really kind of... but that also means that sometimes I'm like, wait, what are we doing? So yay, teaching styles. Okay. So checking in. Okay, we have Mother Mary here. She's really being present. I love that. She's such a beautiful one to work with. She has such a loving, mothering energy, and she's if you want to be seen more in the world for any reason, she's a beautiful one to work with because, of course, she, Mother Mary's everywhere. She might be arguably one of the most recognizable figures on the planet, and she did that as a woman in a really constrictive society many, many, many years ago. And she's a powerful force. So if you'd like to be more visible, work with her. Okay, so she's here for us. Okay, she's saying, go gently with your feelings, beloveds. Treat yourself kindly. Many of you have learned to lash yourself with your feelings, to feel like you are bad for having them. You have absorbed the shame of your society, and that's no longer needed. That's no longer necessary. It never was. And so she's asking us now to release any shame we have around feeling our feelings. Any times when we were scolded as a child for crying, for feeling, for showing anger. She's asking us to release that now into her arms. So you may see her in your mind's eye. You can see yourself releasing the weight of that. Because, of course, what will stop us from having our feelings faster than feeling like we're bad or not right or don't deserve to have feelings or shouldn't have feelings or we're weak for having feelings? Of course, that's going to stop you from engaging with them. So she's inviting you to give these burdens to her, to let her take them from you, because they don't need to weigh you down anymore. So you can see her taking them from you, or you can just say it out loud. Dear Mother Mary, please take this burden from me. Please take this weight, this shame around my emotions from me, around my feelings. You can just set the intention inside. And just feel that weight lift. Breathe with it for a moment. And know that you are safe to have your feelings. You are being guided to engage with your feelings. You're being asked to see this truly beautiful part of you, because of course feelings are, they're what make us human. It is so human to have a range of emotion. And the more you allow yourself to feel the emotions that are judged, like anger, fear, sadness, the more you allow yourself to be present with those emotions when they show up, the more easily you will access the other feelings, the joy, the happiness, the love. So breathe with that. Feel it seep into your memory, into your bones, into your muscle memory. So that you're reminded of these truths the next time you're tempted to suppress your feelings. Thank you, Mother Mary. And you don't always need to feel your feelings right the moment that they have them. You know, if, say, you're in a meeting at work and someone makes you really angry, or I guess I will stop here and say that other people can't make us feel anything. You know, we do need to take complete responsibility for all of our feelings, because, you know, nobody else can make you do or feel anything. However, they certainly can trigger things, and other humans are brilliant at doing that. So, yeah, if you're in a meeting, you get really angry and you're like, okay, now is not the time for me to, you know, and when you get really good at this, you probably could just silently, you know, let it pass through and be completely present with the meeting 30 seconds later. But in the earlier stages, if you feel like, okay, I don't have the space to deal with this right now, just make a little promise to yourself, make a note in your calendar to, before the day is out, spend 5 minutes, you know, maybe before you go to bed, just spend 5 minutes with that feeling and see, like, okay, is this just something that needs to be felt in my body? Can I just feel it now and let it pass through? You know, is there some way that is there information that this emotion is giving me? Is there something this anger is trying to tell me? Or, you know, maybe you need to journal about it and just let the kind of vitriol come through. And this is where something like morning pages are really powerful. You know, just the 5 minutes or 3 pages where you don't, you know, either you don't lift your fingers off the typewriter. Wow, what decade are we in? Where you don't lift your fingers off the keyboard, or you don't stop your pen from moving, and it's complete stream of consciousness. You let out all of that, you know, all of that anger, whatever's coming through. And I certainly have some of these pages where like the pen went through like 3 pages because I was just, and that's the place to do it. And then you can just burn it. It's not like some perfect journal that needs to be saved for all eternity. You can just get rid of it. But anyway, take the time that day to just engage with that feeling and say, okay, hi anger, or hi fear, hi sadness. What have you got for me? Another thing you can do, this is actually one of my favorites, is to just sit in a nice chair and invite the anger to sit with you. You know, I will tend to see emotions as different, you know, little creatures, little animals, little monsters. Sometimes if it's a big fear that I'm really in, it will seem like some towering gelatinous black monster. And I just have to stay in the room with it and say, okay, hi. I know you're not here to hurt me. I know you just want to be seen. I know you just want to be felt. If you have a message for me, I'm ready to receive it now. Thank you. And then, you know, and just have whatever experience I have with it. And often, you know, I'll just feel something and I'll be in it. And sometimes I'll be in it for a while and it feels really not fun. And I'd rather be doing anything else, even the dishes. But if I stay with it, it dissipates. That big towering monster kind of shrinks down and then just poof, you know, or I fall asleep and just process as I rest. but inviting, it's like it's a really magical reframe to see that feeling as a friend who just has a message for you, who just maybe wants to give you a hug. Sadness can just want to give you a hug, can just want to, okay, let's remember this person for a few minutes, and then we'll part ways. It can feel really loving and friendly to invite your emotions, as I'm a big fan of anthropomorphization, as you may know. Uh, but to invite your feelings as some little, maybe the Muppet, maybe it's Animal Muppet, who knows? Your feeling can show up however it shows up for you. But inviting it to sit with you and just having a little chat with it. Like, okay, hi, I'm sorry I've been ignoring you. What do you want to do? Do you want to feel some things? Do you want to talk about something? Do you just want to sit here for a few minutes and then wander off? That's really powerful. And I really suggest it, especially for those trickier emotions, for the things that feel like they've been hanging around, for the things that have been really putting you through the ringer. That's a really beautiful practice. So let's check in again and see. No, more water first. Water really is the key for a lot of things. Water is so important. I know everybody talks about like, oh, 8 glasses of water a day. I probably drink a lot more than that. And, of course, the downside is you're in the bathroom all the time. Road trips are a pain in the ass. But it keeps things moving. It keeps, it kind of keeps your channel open. It keeps your ability to receive the guidance, receive your intuition, talk to your heart, talk to your inner self, talk to God. Keep those emotions flowing through. Really, water is the best substance on earth, and it's so malleable. It will take in anything that you give it. I'm sure they've done water studies that are fascinating. And anyway, that's a tangent. So we were checking in. Okay, what else do we need to know about our feelings? Is there any healing that wants to come through? We actually did some pretty powerful healing with our emotions last week as part of the clearing. But let's see, so I don't want to overload you. And if you feel like, okay, I've had plenty of feelings, thank you. Just take this as information, maybe set aside any healing that comes through for another time. Like, really listen to your body, listen to yourself, listen to what you need. But for me personally, I like to just dive in and do as much as possible, like bring it on. But if it ever feels like I'm piling it on, feel free to step back and save it. You will want to return to it when you're ready. So make a note of that. But go at your own pace with all of this. Okay. Trust yourself. You are all you ever need. I'm just here to help you connect with yourself, connect with your own guidance, so that, so you can really be your own best guide. Okay. I keep getting distracted, which makes me think that there's something big that wants to come through. So let's see. Yeah, Jesus is laughing at me. He does that. Oh, other side note, burping that's energy moving through. So if I ever just burp on camera, I apologize. That means something big is coming through. And it's moving. Okay. Yep, Jesus is still laughing at me. Okay, so what do we have? What is the healing, the message that wants to come through here? Okay, so this is Jesus coming through here. And if you feel anything trigger around Jesus, just use that as a moment to practice, what you've just learned with the feelings, because of course his work has been twisted, and he's said, if I knew what would have been done with my work, I probably wouldn't have done it, which is why it's good that we don't have that omniscience, because there is so much that is valuable and so much that is loving in his work and in his heart. So he can be a really, really valuable guide, and he's one that I work with a lot, despite all of my protestations early on. Okay, so what do you have for us? Okay, so he has for each of us, it looks like a little ball of light, like a, not like a crystal, not like an orb, but more like a luminescent bubble. So it moves a little bit, it sways a little bit. It's very beautiful. And he's giving one to each of us. So you are receiving one right now. Of course, we step out of time and space when we do these. So just because I'm doing this on a Saturday in early January doesn't mean that you couldn't receive this healing in 2 days or 2 years. It's really an amazing thing about this work. It will keep showing up and giving you what you need every time you engage with it. So he has this beautiful glowing white luminescent orb for each of us. And he's saying, if you choose, free will, if you choose, accept this into your heart, because in this orb is a message for you about your feelings, about what you need now to take the next step toward being in perfect flow with your feelings, perfect ease, letting them rise and fall and move in and move out with a beautiful flow, the flow that is possible for each of you and will serve you so beautifully. So this is what's next for you. It also has healing for your heart, because we can lash our hearts with our feelings, and that is not necessary. So he's offering your heart healing, to be fuller and stronger, to possibly remove some of the blocks if that's something that you are experiencing, to be able to receive the flow of your emotion and to stay in that infinity loop with it, rather than letting it get stuck. So as he hands this orb to you, you might see yourself putting it in your heart. You might see yourself putting it in your third eye. You may be guided to put it in your stomach. And this is pure light. This is very high loving energy. The kind that it's been fairly rare to encounter in our world, on our plane. It's getting far less rare, and it will continue to be far more present with us. But this is something that you can welcome into your energy, into your body, into your soul, into your mental body, and your emotional body. And he's saying, as you accept this orb and place it wherever you're guided to place it, and if you watch this again, you'll probably be guided to put it somewhere else. Or you may even just be guided to hold it in your hands and let it do its work from there. And he's saying, as you accept it, by holding it in your hands, placing it in your body, it will move out. It will fill your entire energy body with this healing, especially your emotional body. It will fill your emotional body with this healing and help things move out, help things process, help things come to your consciousness, to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be felt, to be surrendered. Good. Good job. Just moving through. Okay, he's saying this will continue to work in your energy field for 3 days. So pay attention to drinking water, to really being present with any emotions that come up. Some old stuff might come up. Some stuff that you've been wanting to put aside may come up, but just know that it's all for the good. As you allow yourself to feel and engage with this and process it and take the steps with it, you will clear out. You will feel lighter. You will be able, it's like going into a closet and clearing it all out, all the crap, taking the crap to the best possible place. Recycle bin, Goodwill, somebody else who could use it and love it. And then cleaning out the space. And Archangel Michael is offering us some emotional energy, some pure emotional energy to help things move, help things clear out. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, so my closet analogy. After you've cleared out the closet and scrubbed all the corners, it's ready to receive something else. It's ready to receive the things you actually want, the shoes you actually love, the clothes that actually fit and you feel really good in, whatever it is you put in a closet. It's ready to receive what's new, what's more fun, what feels better. So really feeling these old emotions, and we don't necessarily want to put judgment on them, but we do just want to discern, like, okay, what feels kind of gross, what doesn't feel good, what don't I want to be carrying around with me, and what feels good, what do I want to welcome in. And so feeling these things, clearing this space out, creates a lot of space for you to welcome in what you do want. The joy, the love, the ability to, even when you're in some emotion, take a breath and receive what else is there for you. One of my favorite tricks with that is to just take a deep breath and look up at the sky. Look up at the sky. Maybe it helps that I'm in California and the sky is usually pretty and blue. You might want to look at a flower or look at a tree, depending on what part of the world you're in. But just looking at that clear, beautiful blue sky really just opens something up in me, even if I'm in the midst of the feels. So yeah, let yourself be in this process. Give yourself this gift. And journaling can help if that's your thing. Morning pages can help. One of the things I have found about morning pages is that when sometimes it takes a couple of days of just like spewing just garbage, like all of the flotsam that's caught up there. It might take a few mornings of doing that, but eventually it clears out and I start receiving guidance. My pen starts naturally moving toward, okay, what's next? What guidance is here for me? This is when guides can really step in and prompt you because you can hear them, because you've cleared out the anger, the emotion, the sadness, the grief, whatever it is that is maybe blocking the channel for them to get through to you. That's a big one. Our guidance, we can always hear our guidance. It doesn't matter what you're feeling, what's tamped down in there, how compacted all the feelings are in your body, your guidance can still get through, of course, and you can still receive it easily. But we are meeting them halfway when we are really being with our feelings and we're making our own experience so much lighter, so much more joyful. We're showing ourselves that there's nothing to be feared with the feelings. Even the anger, even the fear, even the sadness, there really is nothing to be afraid of because why? Because why? Why is there nothing to be afraid of? This feels like it should come through channeled. Okay, why is there nothing to be afraid of? They're laughing at me again. Okay. They like to laugh at me, at me. There is nothing to fear because you are here to experience all that life has for you. You are here to know how powerful you are to co-create with us, with God, with the universe, with pure divine love and creation. You are here to have an experience and to learn from it what new experiences you would like to enjoy. You are here to feel. You are here to feel your body as it moves, to feel your emotions as they flow through you. You are here to feel how happy you are when you read or watch something you love, or you spend time with someone you love, you are here to be present with everything that shows itself in your experience and to love yourself through it, to hold yourself in such love and esteem and gentleness that whatever else shows up can't make the kind of dent that you or shatter you in the way that you might have experienced in the past. They're saying it's time to move beyond that. And that's why you're here. That's why we're doing this work together. That's why, you're engaging with it in the way that you are. And Jesus is saying big old fist bumps to you, because this is not easy. This engaging with your emotions in this way, this is extremely brave work. Not many people are willing to do this. So hooray for you. Hooray for us. This is I don't want to say it's hard, because I don't want to, I tend to think, feelings are hard, but I don't want to put that on anybody else. That's my shit. It can be extremely easy, and it is extremely easy, but it's also not. This is some stuff. This is big stuff. So big love to you for doing this work, and for being here. So let's see. What else do you have for us today? Is there a final message, a final word? Mother Mary is back. She's saying, you are so loved. You are so cherished. You and your feelings are so loved and so cherished. You are safe to be present with your feelings, because your feelings they're just another part of you. They aren't you. Your feelings are not you. Your thoughts are not you. But they are part of your experience. And so holding that experience lightly, holding it with love, whatever shows up, whatever comes through to the inbox, holding it with love will change your life in unexpected and beautiful ways. Okay, so she wants us to take a few more deep breaths together. Feel the grounding cord that goes down into the center of the earth. And know that if you don't know what to do with a feeling, if you don't know what to do with an emotion or a thought, just imagine that grounding cord connecting with the center of the earth, and send that feeling, that thought, whatever it is, send it down that grounding cord to be held by the earth, to be transformed by the earth, to be held for you until you're ready, if there's something that needs to be received from whatever it is. Know that the earth is always here for you. It's always available for you. And Mama Earth would like to remind you that if you feel the need to cry on the floor, that can be very powerful, very healing. Whether you're in the grass or on your living room floor, being held by the earth is very powerful healing when you're in emotion, when you're feeling things, when it's moving through you. The earth will hold you, and the earth will help you. The earth will help you ground it. The earth will help you be present with it. The earth will help you transform it, transmute it, receive it, be with it. Know that there's nothing to be feared from it. Thank you, Earth. One of my favorite things is just lying on the ground and letting it receive whatever I've got, just letting it hold me. The ground is always there for you. The ground is always there for you. Gravity's great. All right. Well, let me just double check and see if there's anything else that wants to come through. No, they're saying this is good. There's always more you can do with feelings. There's always new things you can play with. They're saying that your own guidance is powerful. Your own guidance will show you what's needed. These are, what's come through in this session these are just a few ways to get started with it. Where one of these tools might work for you really well, and that's what you use, and that's beautiful. But if you ever don't know what to do with the feeling, ask for help, ask for guidance, ask to see it a new way, ask for it to be removed, until you're ready to deal with it. You can ask for anything you want, and they will help in the way that serves your highest good, and the highest good of all. And you can set that intention. Please help me move through this, in the way that's for my highest good and for the highest good of all. And then just follow the quiet voice inside you, the inklings that you get, the ways that you're guided. And that's all you need to do for everything, really, not just feelings, but feelings, I think for us sensitive sponges, feelings are a big one. So give yourself this gift, play with it. There may be some homework when I post this video. There may not, just notice your feelings, Actually, yeah, that's what I know I gave you a lot of homework last week. So, of course, do only what feels good to you, or do it all, because that can be, if you want to bring in some real emotion, do it all. But don't let yourself get overwhelmed. No overwhelm. Delete on the overwhelm. Where was I going? Oh yeah, it feels like the only real homework that we're going to have this week is to just gently notice your feelings. That's all you need to do right now. Gently notice your feelings, and remind yourself that the brain story isn't true. Whatever your brain is telling you about those feelings, about you for having those feelings, that's not necessarily true. So just ask for help, ask for the truth. Whatever pops into your head that you might have learned in this session or in other places around being with your feelings, processing your feelings, feeling your feelings, do that. Do what pops in. But most of all, just gently notice your feelings. It can be so powerful to say, I am angry. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes all that's needed is that acknowledgement. Oh, I am sad, and I'm allowed to be sad. I don't have to do anything with this. I can just be sad. I can be sad for 5 minutes. I can be sad for a day. It's okay. I'm safe being sad for a while. I think the emotions are, in some way they're like people. They just want to be seen, heard, acknowledged, and loved. So gently notice your feelings, play with them in whatever way feels good to you, and thank you so much for being here. This is such a joy, and I will see you next week. Much love, friends.